So guys, this is the amount of fresh salt water I'll be changing in Pico. It's not that much. It's about maybe a litre or so, and the reason I'm doing a water change is because, you know, I had dino a couple of weeks ago, and it seems the tank has bounced back and everything is looking good. So this morning I cleaned the glass. The glass was a bit hazy, which tells me that, you know, probably my phosphates has gotten, you know, above what they need to be. And possibly my nitrates as well, because I have been doing 1 drop of the ATI N and P in the system, and the corals are responding really favorably towards that. So I'm going to do a little water change today, and I'll put up a little video to show you guys what my lighting schedule is for the Pico. Yeah, so this that was the lighting schedule for the Pico Reef. The reason why I have so much blue on there is I found that the white was like really stressing the corals out, and after reading I realized that blue penetrates further down into the aquarium than the white spectrum does, but white actually gives more power. So I think having the whites at 50% was causing the GSP to just remain permanently shut, and absolutely having a detrimental effect on the rest of the coral. So I lowered my white spectrum down to about 15, like you saw in the video, and what I did was I got rid of the red and the green, and also the moonlight channel as well. So I just literally have the blues, the UV at, you know, a nice little arc, and it seems to be working really well. Even the anemone seems to, you know, just benefit from it, because it's been in the same position from the time I put it into the Pico Reef. It stayed bubble, fingers crossed, and you know, it's a good it's an all-around good light. So the AI Prime 16 HD, guys, I definitely, you know, recommend that light. If, you know, from the price point, you know, it is a bit more expensive than what I had on before, but I think the benefits of having a light that has so much versatility in it, it just, you know, it just puts my mind at ease that I can just set it and forget it. Now remember when I said to you guys it's very important that I change the filter floss out from the Pico, because look at all this crap, and I changed this yesterday, so it just says to me there's a lot of you know, just detritus floating around in the water. Maybe I could try adding some carbon, but I don't want to risk it because I don't know what effects it will have on such a small volume of water. So every other day, well, every 2 days, I will change this filter floss, just to ensure that the water stays clear and all bits of crap literally is just collected, and yeah, place a fresh bit of filter floss in there. Yeah, so another top tip, guys, if you do want a nice way to clean your glass, get some RDI water in there, nothing else, just RDI water in a nice spray bottle, and what you do is you just spray it onto your glass surface when you've done your water change. Just use a bit of tissue, and all you do is just wipe it off, and you'll have a nice finish. Okay, so going on to the TMC itself, as you can see, I still have that little patch where I had some bleaching over the last couple of days. So like I said in my last video, what I did was I tried to adjust my phosphorus and alkalinity. I don't think it was the alkalinity that had anything to do with it, because 9.6 was okay. You can have 9.6 in your system, you know, it's not an issue. What the issue was for me was that it was a bit out of my desired range for my particular system. As you can see at the back here as well, I have some bleaching going on. So what I'm going to do today, I know it's not been that long, it's been about 4 days since I last tested this, so I'm just going to test the phosphorus again to see where it is, and test the alkalinity to see if it's gone down. So guys, moment of truth, I have my HANA checker in hand. Yeah, I want to see what my alkalinity is. So it was 9.6 before. Yeah, I went from 180 mil to 170 mil over a couple of days, and let's see what the results are. Oh, damn it. Same as before, 9.6. Now, this can prove to me a couple of things. This may be the ideal, you know, balance point for my alkalinity in my system where calcium is concerned and magnesium, because my calcium is still around 446. It was 443 this morning when I checked, and the alkalinity still 9.8. It was 9.6 last time or thereabouts. So yeah, so maybe that's where my alkalinity just needs to be. Failing that, maybe if I go down to about 160 next week, we'll see whether it will make a difference. But yeah, stuck on 9.8. So let's check out the phosphorus to see where we are. Hopefully there's some good news. There is some good news when it comes to the phosphates or phosphorus for the system. Okay guys, so moment of truth. I have my HANA phosphorus checker, and what do you think the results are? Let's have a look. 23, and that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, so that's where I should be sitting, and that's where I would ideally want to sit. So 23, I think it's about 0.04 if I believe. I'll have a little pop-up on the right hand corner just to show you guys what that is in phosphate. So yeah, 23, that is where I want to be. Now, a couple of things that I've taken from testing my water over the last couple of days or last week. One, the alkalinity is stable at around a 9.6 to 9.8, which is good in a way, but I still want that to be a bit lower. What I don't want happening is that the alkalinity is so high that the coral's skeleton has difficulty, or the tissue has difficulty growing over the skeleton. I've got white patches. I'm not getting that in any of my corals. As you can see, you know, my coral tips are really you know, happy. Everything is coloring up, and I'm not getting that outburn. What I'm getting is receding corals, and I think that's down to nutrients. Now, the phosphorus or phosphates are back up where, you know, ideally I would like them to be, or where they were. So I'm going to monitor them over the next couple of weeks and see what's happening. Now, I'll show you a picture of or video of my coral that is stressed, and I think it's either checking out or it's just really stressed. Now, this is a picture of my Miyagi tort. Now, it's so stressed that all the polyps have retracted and it's lost a lot of color. So I'm putting it down to the nutrient issue in the tank. When the phosphates were at, you know, that 0.5 whatever it's supposed to be, and previously this thing really colored up. You can see the different colors on there, but now it's just very pale. So I think it's just, you know, lacking nutrients. So hopefully over the next couple of weeks, keeping my phosphates elevated, or keeping the phosphates within that range, that should help the coral rebound. So hopefully it doesn't check out, because I really like this coral. Like you see, most of my corals are encrusting over the rock. If I do re-aquascape or shuffle this aquascape, it will be a pain in the neck. The snails have really been active as well on the return nozzles here, my random flow generators, and they've actually picked it clean of algae. So it's just a lesson learned, and you know, you always learn new things in this hobby, or things that you thought you knew and you had to kind of reevaluate what your priorities are. A cleanup crew is so beneficial, guys. And look, I just proved to you that, you know, a couple of snails over a couple of days or like a week or so have basically gone to town on the algae issue that I was having. Now, with algae, you have to understand another thing, that it's okay putting a cleanup crew in there. However, if you have not identified the reason why you're getting algae, then the cleanup crew will just be putting a band-aid over an underlying issue. So you need to test your water, see where your phosphates, your nitrates are, rectify that if you need to rectify it, and then add your cleanup crew to basically help you clean up. Yeah. Okay, let's see what's happening in my sump. So as you guys can see, if you haven't seen my last post on my Instagram page, yeah, glorified poop patrol. So yeah, this is the skimmer. It's an reef octopus. I think it's a S1 Saturn 110. Yeah, but yeah, a really good skimmer, and the space it allows me to save within the sump. That's the reason why I got it, because it's got a small footprint and it fits into this narrow you know, area in my sump. So I don't know if you guys seen my sump before, but here's another look. So I've got my NIOS reactor here, and all I have is some media in the reactor. So you can see that there's some media in the reactor, and I have a little bag of carbon, like a golf ball size of carbon in there, and that I change every 3 to 4 weeks, just to keep my water that much clear. At the back, in between the skimmer, I have a little cup where I have some more media and some filter floss that takes up all the crap that gets skimmed from the top of the water in the main display. So as you can see, the filter floss in there, and that just it's a right angle kind of connector that goes into it. I have an Eheim heater here. Really good heaters. This one I think is rated for about 150 or 200. Doesn't work that hard during the summer. Doesn't work hard at all. During the winter, I just ensure that the room is nice and warm and it doesn't wear out that heater too much. D&D ATO, yeah, good ATO to have, guys. I really recommend. So if anyone needs to upgrade their ATO, definitely go for the DD ATO for the system. Now for my doser, I have a Coral Box Wi-Fi dosing pump. Now this dosing pump I've had on my last system, my Flu Valve M60. Good little dosing pump. I have ordered the Ecotech Versa 4-pack. Company I ordered it from said to me that I could do one or two things. I can either cancel the order, get my money back, or I can just be patient and wait for Ecotech to re-release the Versa, and as soon as it lands in the UK, they'll holler at me and get them to me. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to wait, and hopefully that'll not take too long, because I do want to show you guys what I want to do with the Versa. I've got something very special planned for them in the way I dose this system. Another trick I have is using one of these, so you can see it working there perfectly, good timing. I use non-return valves on my dosing line. Now I do use airline for my dosing line. I don't use silicone. I prefer the airline because they're nice and rigid, and they fit snugly on this Coral Box, the little tips to dose on the dosing head. So why I use non-return valves is that when the solution gets dosed into the tank, and before I had them on the side of the sump, there'll be like a mass buildup of like calcium and alkalinity. Just look like just disgusting. So what I did was, I do have an air stone in here, and that's just to mix the solution into the water. It doesn't affect anything like creating bubbles into the main display. The only reason I did that is just I just don't like to see a surface just there and just not doing nothing. So it has to have some movement to it. So using the non-return valves, it just ensure that the water gets, or the solution gets squirted directly into the return area of the sump, and then mixed in thoroughly with the air stone bubbles, and then sent up to the main display. And I haven't had an issue with this. Every now and again what I have to do is probably replace a non-return valve, because the solution just builds up in there and it just gets clogged, or it just starts looking a bit tatty. Okay guys, so that is the end of the video. So remember guys, try to keep your tanks cool. Summer's around the corner. Ensure you keep testing your water to ensure your parameters are where you would like them to be for your corals to succeed. And you can also use your corals as an indicator if there's any issues wrong with your tank. So my SPS coral I showed you guys in this video that is stressed out is a definite indicator that something is wrong. So just take it back to basics, test your water, be patient, make your adjustments slowly, yeah, and then enjoy your tank. Right, this is Narayan for HC Aquatics Reefing, guys. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. I'll see you next time.